Welcome back to the ProWrestlingRules.com podcast. We're here with the Brooklyn Mauler. Brooklyn Mauler, welcome back.
How you doing, sir?
We are doing well at ProWrestlingRules.com, and in keeping with our tradition, we don't review a WWE pay-per-view until after we've seen the next night's Raw.
Definitely. Yeah, it was great. It was a great Royal Rumble. How did you enjoy it?
Well, I did have a few criticisms of it, just observations. I don't know if I should call them criticisms. First of all, I think that the Royal Rumble started very late.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel that way as well, or no?
Well, you know that it's the main event, so you know it's going to start. It's going to be the last match. You can always have criticism with, the Royal Rumble from any pay-per-view. I mean, they own the network, so they should be able to go over a few minutes or so, another hour or so. They own the network.
Mm-hmm.
You hear what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they should be able to, go over. So yeah, I could see where you would say that.
Well, did the Rumble begin at 10 o'clock?
Around that or so. I think around maybe 9:40.
Mm-hmm.
9:40, 9:45, 9:50, around that time.
I would have preferred it began at 9 o'clock. That's just me.
Well, I mean, they was going fast and furious. I think they was doing the intervals was about a minute or so. But, I know, did Rusev and Roman, did they get 2 minutes? Because I think that the first 2 minutes entered 2 minutes.
It felt like 2 minutes. It was longer than 1 minute.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So, at least they kept up to, the Royal Rumble standards. 2 minutes for the first 2 minutes. But Rusev was going about, a minute and 50, a minute 45 he was finished?
Did that surprise you, Rusev's elimination so early?
Well, yes. I mean, to pick Rusev as the number 2, I mean, they could have went a lot of different ways. But I can see why. I mean, he has one of the League of Nations. I guess they wanted to, and plus he is a rough and tough individual, so I guess that's what it's going to see. That start out with the toughest person possible. So yeah, I think it was okay. I didn't have a problem with that.
Not unusual.
It was anticlimactic, to be honest with you. It wasn't like back in the days when number 1 was action and number 2 was smash. You'd be like, oh shit, this is crazy. It wasn't that bad, But what can you ask for about the PG WWE nowadays?
It reminded me a little bit of the Royal Rumble where number 1 was the British Bulldog, number 2 was $1 Million Man, and he was eliminated almost immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it happens like that sometimes, man. What I don't like is when the stars get eliminated too quickly. I really didn't like that. But you know what, to be honest with you, this Royal Rumble was way better than last year's Royal Rumble when the debacle with Kane and Big Show taking out everyone and just throwing people around. And just, this one was way better than that. A little bit more exciting than that. The only same thing that happened was Roman Reigns still got booed. And they need to figure out what to do. I mean, they may really consider, the smart, because I think it was a smart crowd last night, and I think the smarts was out last night because I mean they just don't like Roman. I mean, the Roman is just not liked by the smart crowd. So yes, but I know that's the IWC, which I guess we are part of now. I mean, IWC is a small community. It's a small community with a lot of people, but it's a small community compared to the WWE network, the WWE universe. You know what I mean?
Well,
we got a state. We got a state. The IWC has a state in the universe.
It's kind of like the NRA. It's a minority, but it's the loudest group. Right.
It's the loudest. It's the loudest and most vocal. State out. Yeah. So,
AJ Styles chants.
AJ Styles chants. And so let's go over the Royal Rumble before I get to that. So the first match we had was Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose. last man standing. I think that match was really good.
Mm-hmm.
The carnage and the brutality was good. The only thing about that is like one little minor thing that I heard about earlier. I think I was listening to was, and it didn't strike me until now, was about the blood. How can you have such a blood feud like with which essentially what it was, and not have any blood?
Mm-hmm.
They getting hit upside the head with chairs, basically, it was just so much stuff going on. No type of bleeding, no type of, it just, you remember back in the day, like a blood feud, like you just, you see the blood, like JR said, they ran the Crimson Mask, it just shows much better, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe that's one little, thing, minor, thing that I can really reach at there. Other than that, they got to work hard.
I would say I agree with you about the blood in a sense that you can have as many weapons and ladders, whatever you want, but it doesn't compare to Hulk Hogan leaving Harley Race in a puddle of blood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just that visual.
I mean, yeah, you could say, mostly all big matches had blood in it, because, it just, I don't know where they're going with it. It's PG for children, I guess. But you know what? Maybe you can attest to this as well. Back in the day, in our era, which is the Hogan era, they had it was PG back then too, because they had a lot of cartoons. They had Hulk Hogan Rock and Wrestling. They had Say Train Your Fair, Eat Your Vitamins. But they had blood there too. They had a nice little mixture of it wasn't too much cursing. It wasn't, the only thing that they really had that was going, no sexism. The only thing that was really going on was the Macho Man and Elizabeth when she took off her robe at SummerSlam. That was about it. That was about it back then. But they was able to, manage the keeping children involved, because basically when we was kids, that's what we basically grew up on. We grew up on that Hogan era, the Macho Man, the $1 Million Man, Roddy Piper. We grew up on that era. And even they had blood feuds at that time, but it wasn't a big deal.
And not just blood. If you remember Outlaw Ron Bass choking the Junkyard Dog with his whip, Miss Betsy, and foam coming out of JYD's mouth. Foam.
Yes. I think it was on Superstars, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things happened on Superstars.
Yes.
Even when Jake the Snake tried to kill Ricky Steamboat.
Oh, yes.
You remember that? So, with his throat.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have a lot of things going on. You even had Vicious, they took Matilda on Jimmy Hart.
Yes.
And
that was a real dog.
Yes, it was. It was a real dog. And Jimmy Hart was running for his life, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Jake the Snake, he bit the Macho Man on live TV, even though it was censored. But he bit the Macho Man, ran on TV. You think that was PG?
Or
horrifying.
To bring up again, Outlaw Ron Bass. Do you remember the spurs on Brutus Beefcake?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I did. I remember that.
Could you see that now? They would never do that now.
No, they would never do that. Because remember Dave Bryan choked out, I think, one of the announcers, and he got fired for that, But things have gotten really soft nowadays. It's just, and that was on regular TV.
Mm-hmm.
I think even on Fox or Saturday Night Main Event.
Mm-hmm.
Things have gotten really soft nowadays. And the more stuff you see on TV nowadays that's allowed to be on TV, of the cursing, the sexuality, the sexism that's going on TV, cursing, everything that's going on TV nowadays. Now they regressing back to so that they had a Katie Vick story. The Katie Vick, that was, I don't know how they was doing the Attitude Era, but still, look at where it's at now. I think the PG is hurting a lot of them, but I get where they're going.
But to go back to something you said about the PG part about the Hogan era that we grew up on, is they didn't say this is PG. They had it in our minds that you didn't do certain things because you didn't want to get fined by Jack Tunney. You didn't want to be punished, and those things mattered back then.
And then, I mean, it's not the big boss man, because, you know, you serve hard time. You carry the big stick of ball and chest too, and if you was looking for trouble, he was coming after you. So, you know, he used to handcuff people after the matches and go up and hit them in the ribs or upside the head with his nightstick. And they talking about that was serving hard time. That was hard time. You know, back in the day. So, he had all types of things. Bruce BBK, $1 Million Man, the most disrespectful thing. After he put him in his $1 Million Dream, they sleeping. Then he put the $100 bills in their mouth. And then Virgil snatched it back out their mouth. They can't even get a $100 bill after his dream. He was just dreaming he had $100.
And I think we all saw the Mountie with his cattle prod. He hit people below the belt with that.
Oh yeah, many times he's done that. So they use weapons. Their weaponry was used a lot back then. But now, I mean, you know, today's WWE is I don't know where they want to go with shit. You get what I mean? I don't know where they want, because they want to be PG, but they teach brutality.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of brutality that's going on. Their biggest star right now is Brock Lesnar. Is like the Incredible Hulk. They want to see him smash people. And the thing is called Suplex City. Was the reason why Suplex City, I think it just came about because he was suplexing the hell out of Roman, and he said Suplex City, bitch. He knew what he was doing.
Yes.
And I don't think they really wanted that. That was a curse word, and everybody loved it because he said the word. He said the curse after it.
Yes.
I don't think if you just said Suplex City, I think nobody would have said anything. But that exclamation point, he said Suplex City, bitch, and that exclamation point, and everybody loved it. They said, wow, this is great. You know what I mean? This is Brock Lesnar is a bad mother. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So you know, their beast is they unleashed the beast, and he just total destruction. You know, that's not PG.
So, first match we talked about what was missing. What about the second match of the night?
Well, let's see. The second match of the night was tag team match.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, the New Day and the Usos. I mean, that match was good. The ending was really good. I mean, the finish was something I haven't seen in a long time. The trombone, the Francesca too, and they was begging him to play Francesca, and then he was like, no, I play him on mine. I play him when I want to. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that was funny. You know, New Day is a good team and is very entertaining. I could do without the all jiggling and jiving and the twerking for men to be done. I can do without that. I don't really need to see that.
Have you ever seen? Well, one of our contributors, Lorraine, said the same thing earlier. But did you ever see a wrestler or a group of wrestlers work so hard to get over as mid-carders?
To work hard to get...
Have to do so much.
Well, they're already over. I mean, they're over.
To stay over?
What?
To stay over?
They're over. I mean, right now, they're the hottest tag team, the hottest tag team act they have. The poor Usos is a babyface team. They got a heel reaction. And
I'm afraid you're right. I'm afraid you're right.
Right. No one... The Usos is a good team. And people generally like the Usos. They work hard. They have great moveset. They're athletic. They're exciting. The Usos is an exciting team. But going against the New Day, they don't like them.
No.
You know what I mean? They show them that... I don't know what it is, man. Roman Reigns and there must be something going on because Roman Reigns and his cousins, they don't like them. They boo them at every point. But the other cousin, The Rock, come, they chill. I don't know. The fans don't really like these individuals. I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy.
So what was the third match of the night?
The third match was
Was it another tag team match?
No. It was a U.S. title match.
Del Rio?
Alberto Del Rio.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean,
Kalisto, your impressions.
Kalisto, Kalisto is okay. He reminds me a little Rey Mysterio Ultimo Dragon because he's just dressed like that. But Kalisto is okay. I mean, he's exciting. He does spots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he does spots here and there.
A rough night for him.
Yeah, he had the original Sin Cara syndrome. Remember the original Sin Cara?
Yes.
Nothing right. He had the original Sin Cara syndrome. He missed a few spots, but you know, overall, you know, nothing was right. I mean, when you're doing stuff, high risk maneuvers, you know, you always taking a chance of possibly missing the move, be spot on. You gotta realize how good these wrestlers are. You know that when the big match come in, they're able to hit the spots right on the money. That how good you have to be good and lucky at the same time, and to be there, you have to be good and very good and lucky, and everything has to be put in place. So, I mean, it's real. I mean, it's real that, you know, that he missed this. He can miss it. He just messed up. It happens. Ballerinas fall all the time. So, you know, ice figure skaters, they fall in triple lunks all the time. But
yeah, with the gold medal on the line, yes.
Yes, it happens, but nothing is better when somebody hit that double axel into triple lux, and it's a thing of beauty when it's done right. You know? So you know.
I don't remember Ray missing very much.
Well, I mean, not too much, but Rey Mysterio is Rey Mysterio. This is Kalisto. Kalisto, I think he's young, so I think he got Kalisto got a good, long career ahead of him. And I think he's going to be okay.
I like what you said earlier when we were talking about this in our prep, that you saw some flaws in the match, but you were happy they gave him a chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's time to start giving new guys opportunities. Because you got to realize is that, you know, the Attitude Era was before it was Hogan era. And then the New Generation era, and then there's the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era would have never made it if they didn't give a guy like Stone Cold a chance, or Rocky Maivia getting a chance, or Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley a chance. If they didn't ever give those guys a chance, then they wouldn't have no Attitude Era.
Or giving them multiple chances.
Right. I mean, if you look at it, from 96 on, we had Bret Hart. Bret Hart was the man at that time. And Shawn Michaels. Those were the two guys at the time. And we had Razor Ramon. Razor Ramon was one of the greatest characters, if you look at it now, one of the greatest characters to ever put the Runner versus the greatest characters ever. What a gimmick that was. I mean, that was a great gimmick. So, coming from that, I mean, when he left, you had DX, you know, and then you had the Hart Foundation, the new one. Then you had Stone Cold being the rebel going against the Hart Foundation, which ultimately led to him going against McMahon, and then you know what happened with that. Then you had the Rise of the Rock, and then you see where that went. Then you had the game Triple H, which he, you know, after he wanted to come and became the game, before he went from Hunter Hearst Helmsley to, you know, Triple H to the DS guy, to now he's the game. You know, and then that's when everything changed. So, I mean, you know, it's cerebral assassin. So, if they had never gave those guys a chance, then, you know, you never know where the WWE would be right now. I mean, I've been talking about WCW, because they had the NWO at the time. It was Stone Cold and the Attitude Era, and The Rock, and Mankind, and you know, The Undertaker, and all them other guys, you know, that actually helped, you know, them win the Monday Night War. But they gave him a chance. They had to give him a chance. If they didn't give Mankind a chance to win the title, you know, then where would you have went? You know, they had to give him a chance. You know, so now these guys they have to give these guys a chance, but they're afraid to give them a chance. They still stuck on the past. They still stuck on Triple H. They still stuck on Randy. They still stuck on John Cena. They still stuck on all these other guys. They need to give these other guys a chance. They have a lot of talent, but they got to give them a chance.
Well, speaking of chances, let's go to the Divas Championship match.
Okay, Charlotte and Becky Lynch.
What did you think?
I thought that was one of the best matches in the Divas matches on WWE television in quite some time.
Okay.
They gave them time. That's the most important thing. I think if you give these women, they such great athletes. That's number one. And I really, there's a Divas revolution. The only thing about it is that sometimes I think that creative is revolting against the revolution. Because I think these girls have such great talent. They are great workers. They might be better than some of the men's workers. They are such great workers.
Well, I think with conditioning they are. With conditioning, I think they do excel.
Right. They are so athletic, and they can tell a story. And if you give them give them enough time to get in there and tell a story, they will keep you entertained. You know.
So, what did you think of Ric Flair at ringside for that great match?
Well, I understand where he's coming from. He's there with his daughter. He's trying to do the hell thing. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Kiss, what's her name? I mean, they could have done without that. He didn't really have to do that. But
I agree that they could have done without that. She doesn't need the extra help.
Right. I could see him doing something else, like grabbing her up, chopping her. Kissing her, he could have done without that.
Yeah, the kiss. Maybe we're just a product of the times now, but the kiss felt a bit over the line, didn't it?
Yeah, it was over. I mean, it was over the line. It didn't make sense.
No.
Even though people say he's a kiss stealer, but you know, he didn't need to do that. He's like 60 years old, doing that to a 20-year-old female.
Yeah.
It was really. You don't have to be her father. Why? Yeah, that was. I don't think that was something that.
Did you ever see anything like when he threw the jacket over Becky?
No, actually, that was a good spot.
I like that. That was hilarious, and it worked.
Yeah, that was old school heel stuff that you would see in the NWA, something like that. You see something from Bobby Heenan.
Except we've never seen it.
Right. There's something to see to that certain extent. So, you know, something like Mr. Fuji throwing salt in your eyes when the referee not looking at them. So, I mean, it was very innovative.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I agree with you on that one.
And a great throw by the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Yes. Yes, definitely. So, you know, that match went on, and, you know, you know, one thing about that match is that you didn't know where it was going to go, because it was unpredictable, because they could have let Becky win the belt match.
Mm-hmm.
Then Charlotte could have won. So it was either way, it was a 50-50 way. So I didn't really know who was going to win. So I was shocked. And I was like, that kept me intrigued until the match ended.
Are we headed for a triple threat match?
I don't know.
With Sasha?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they're going to do that. But you never know. They probably do a six-pack females match. Who knows? They probably got to get as many people as possible in. But in the all actuality, they should give it a one-on-one match for the title and give them 15 minutes. And I think it will give a hell of a show. That's what I think.
With Ric Flair's interference, could you see it in a cage?
No, they will not put the females in the cage. No,
it's not TNA. No,
they won't do it. I mean, although that would be interesting. That would be very interesting. But the thing about it is that they don't do blood. And if that was a blood feud, I would love to see it in the cage. You know, that was since Lita and Trish Stratus. And, you know, so I would definitely, you know, be interested in something like that down the road. But I don't think they would do that at WrestleMania. I don't think they would do that.
So let's talk about the Royal Rumble. Let's go back to that. We already talked a little bit about it.
Okay, the Royal Rumble, 1 versus all. My boy Roman Reigns entering at number 1, Rusev number 2. And here we go. And next thing you know, so Roman starts off quick. As soon as he came down, you hear the music, and they start booing him. And you know, oh boy, hey, what can this guy do to get over? He can't get over. I don't know what it is. They're just revolting against this man for some reason. And they trying to give him the belt. But get the hands on, but it's not working. So anyway, they start out him and Rusev. He eliminated Rusev. fairly quickly, and then the next one he's waiting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Some music. I'm listening. I'm like, what kind of music is that? And then next thing you know, you hear the crowd buzzing, and then the guy said, "Oh my God, it was AJ Styles." Boy, it's a phenomenal one. AJ Styles has come to the WWE, and the booth went crazy. The booth was blown off the building.
With a slow walk to the ring.
Yes, the slow walk in the ring.
Very dramatic.
And yes, they don't want none. That's the name of the song. They don't want none. And the crowd was going. And Michael Cole looked like he just knew who he was. Michael Cole said, "Oh my God, is it?" Yes. And he said, "We have heard rumors about this guy." But that commentary was so good. I like Michael Cole. Man.
Oh, and JBL's commentary that he held the same title that Brock Lesnar held.
Yes, definitely. So they gave you an
IWGP.
They gave you a chip. I mean, majority of people knew who he was. But he got in the ring. The roof went crazy. I mean, the NWA Center went crazy. And that probably was price of admission for some of the people there.
For me, it would have been if I was there. It was worth it was worth the price of a $10 a month on WWE Network.
Right, definitely. But so he gets there, and he gets in the ring, and him and Roman Reigns square up. Who's ever done Roman Reigns? There's AJ Styles, but already AJ Styles is more over than Roman Reigns, and WWE cannot be happy about that.
Let's
not be happy about that.
Since you brought that up. For our listeners, I just want them to know that the Brooklyn Mauler does not believe that Roman Reigns disappearing in the Rumble because of his injuries is something that was planned way in advance. You actually believe, or you think, that is something that was decided in the back while the Rumble was going on, because of what was happening in the crowd and in the ring.
Yeah, I think so. You know what? To be honest with you, I think they basically, it could have been either way. I'm not sure. I think him going I think he was tired as well. He looked like he was tired too. I think that was planned because they knew he was going in at number one, so they wanted to give him a break, know. Plus, it made sense. It made sense because he's been having problems with the League of Nations the whole time, and McMahon was always trying to stop him from, winning. So you know what? That whole story made sense. It all made sense. It made sense storyline purposes. People can cry and bitch and moan about Roman Reigns, but the storyline is on point. It all makes sense, and it just makes sense. It was nothing that did not make sense. It made sense. It made sense. So, but anyway, the next guy that came out was basically, I think he was Tyler Breeze, and I must say, wow, Tyler Breeze, pretty. They made quick work of this guy, and it didn't make. I'm sorry about that because Tyler Breeze is a good wrestler. His push has been stopped by McMahon, and so they're not high on Tyler Breeze.
No.
Unfortunately, the next guy was Curtis Axel, and Curtis Axel of the social. What's they call them? The social
outcasts.
The social outcast.
Yes.
So he came, and he got eliminated pretty quickly as well. And so anyway, it went pretty quickly until number 6, which was Jericho. And when Jericho came in, and that's when everything started getting. That's why everything started getting, a little bit. The stuff started filling up and so on and so forth.
I have 2 questions for you. Who were the surprise people for you who were eliminated quickly, and who were the surprise people who weren't eliminated as quickly as you would have thought they'd be?
Well, the one that got eliminated quickly probably was Tyler Breeze got eliminated quickly. Who else? The way Brock Lesnar was eliminated. The Wyatt, see, it didn't make sense. One thing that didn't make sense was that, you know, you have all four Wyatt family members, all three Wyatt family members in there. Then Brock eliminated all three of them, but they should have all had Bray in there at the same time. If they was going to wait to eliminate, that didn't make sense. If you was going to eliminate Brock with the whole Wyatt family, why didn't they just wait till Bray Wyatt get in?
Yeah, it would have been something to see everybody go over the top, Brock and all four members of the Wyatt family together.
Right. I mean, that didn't make sense to me. Like, why would you didn't have all four Wyatt family members in at one time instead of having the three, and then he's eliminating them, and then Bray Wyatt come out 2 guys later? That didn't make sense.
No, it didn't, and I'd say, I know there's not a lot of positive things spoken about World War III from WCW, but do you remember when Lex Luger eliminated so many members of the NWO until he was ultimately eliminated? Wasn't that exciting?
Oh yeah, I mean that's what that's what it was at the time. I mean, you know, you need that person that goes that baby face that's, you know, reckless, and that's just showing, you know, that destruction, and they able to take down.
And to your point, everybody was in the ring at the same time with Luger, but with this one, if the Wyatt family's not eliminated early, they don't have to have them come in and break the rules. It could all have been done just at once.
Exactly. They could have came in there. This is where I would have booked. I would do some fancy booking here. What I would have done is you'd have had Brock come out, you know, you would have had him come out number like 18, or, you know, you would have him come out 17. So Braun Strowman came out 17. So you would have Braun Strowman come out 17, and then you let Brock Lesnar start throwing people out. Then you have, like, next one, like, say, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. You will have the Wyatt family members come, or break it up in between intervals, every other one. And then next, you know, all of them are in. Brock Lesnar been in there for some time now. Now they jump up on him, they gang up on him and throw him out. Now he goes back in the ring and he starts throwing all of them out. That would have been much better.
You mean Lesnar being the one to come back in the ring and eliminate the Wyatts?
Exactly.
That would have been fun.
Yes. He just came back in because they jumped on him, and they jumped on him, and they eliminated him. But I mean, what I'm saying is they would have did that legally. He would have been in. They would have rallied up on him one by one, and they came in, and then actually they jumped on Brock Lesnar, and then they all threw him out, and then next thing you know, he's hurt outside. Next thing you know, he jumps back in the ring, and he starts throwing each and every one of the Wyatt family members out, and then they have a brawl, and then they can have the referee security come and take him to the back. That's simple. They could have did it that way.
It's a great idea. That's why you get paid the big bucks here on ProWrestlingRules.com.
The Brooklyn Mauler.
But who is, speaking of the second part of the question, people who lasted longer than you think, what about Stardust? He lasted quite a long time.
Well, I mean, Stardust, Stardust only lasted actually, I'm looking at this stuff now, he lasted 13 minutes and 57 seconds, almost 14 minutes.
Okay, 12 minutes longer than I thought he would have. That's about it.
Right. So he lasted some time. You know, the shortest time that was there was between Jack Swagger.
Oh, yeah.
Jack Swagger, you know, funny? Mark Henry and Jack Swagger won a match on a pre-show to get into the Royal Rumble, right?
Yes.
Mark Henry was in it 30 seconds, and Jack Swagger was in it 15 seconds, for 45 seconds. They won a match to get there 45 seconds. So that was, and then, you know, Russo was in there a minute 30. We're surprised that, you know, the Big Show didn't get that much time this year.
No, he didn't. He
got 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Mark Henry?
Yeah.
How long was that? You have it in front of you.
For Mark Henry?
Yes.
30 seconds.
Are you serious?
Yes, very serious. 30 seconds.
World's strongest man.
World's strongest man.
Being a big man in the Royal Rumble didn't pay off the way it used to.
Well, no, it didn't. I mean, the Big Show got eliminated pretty quickly too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, Big Show got the Big Show. Let's see, when the Big Show. So yeah, he was only in there 4 minutes and 30 seconds. You know, it's funny that these was the stars, the main stars that was in there. Was been Brock Lesnar 8 minutes, Triple H 8 minutes. Roman Reigns, he was in there about they said an hour, but he had a break in between. He had a 20-minute break, so like 30 minutes. Chris Jericho 50 minutes.
And he worked every one of those minutes.
Yeah. Gene Ambrose 30 minutes. AJ Styles 28 minutes.
Wow.
And Luke Harper 23 and Demon Kane 18 minutes. So there, that was it. Basically, that's the one that was in the ring a lot. Everybody else was basically under 10 minutes.
And even though Dean Ambrose was in the ring the whole time, the camera wasn't on him very much.
No, it wasn't much on him.
I forgot he was there in the end, until the end.
Right. You know how the Royal Rumble, some people get lost in the shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people get lost in the shuffle. But I'm telling you, so let me go back. So back to the Royal before I get to the Dean Ambrose part, because it's going to come up. So AJ Styles was there for a long period of time. So he finally get eliminated. So, again, we talked about the Brock Lesnar and them being, Brock Lesnar eliminated all 3 Wyatt family members, not including Bray Wyatt. They all jump in the ring, then they all jump him, and they throw him out illegally. So number 30 comes down. Roman Reigns comes back being carted off or helped to the back. Superman punching Sheamus and Superman punching everybody in the ring, and got the hot tag. Number 30 hits this game. Triple H, he makes his triumphant return, but to the surprise of no one, everyone knew he was coming back.
Everyone except me.
Yeah, everybody knew number 30 was going to be Triple H. It made perfect sense, and I can tell you why. The whole thing about the storyline is the authority. They don't want him to have the belt. So finally, TLC, Triple H stopped him from getting the belt. So now he whipped Triple H's behind a Survivor Series. Now, as a Survivor Series of TLC, I think it was TLC. And then what happened was the next night of Raw, Triple H is not there. Stephanie brings back Vince. So then Vince says, you know what? We're going to fight Sheamus again for the title at TLC. So he fights Sheamus again. He gets screwed up again. He loses. So now they saying, well, you get one more chance. You can fight him on Raw for the title. So he hits McMahon with the Superman punch, and then he wins the title. So now they trying to stop him from getting the title. So they put him in 1 versus all, and now they put the son-in-law at number 30. They put him at number 1. They put their son-in-law at number 30, who they wanted revenge against. So it all makes sense. Don't you think?
Well, I was surprised, but I will say the way you explain it, I agree. And what I liked was when he won, it wasn't the same celebration of I'm the champion. It was relief that Roman Reigns wasn't.
Oh, so yeah, people would have booed him if the crowd went to revolt.
So Triple H, it was when he was celebrating his victory, it was more he was celebrating that the title belonged to the authority.
Right. That's him. He you know what? He's very, very active and listen to the IWC, because all I was reading all day was they was saying that Triple H doesn't need the title, and he's 40-something, 6 years old. He doesn't need the title anymore. Why did he put himself to win the title? So on and so forth. The next night on Raw, he comes out, he said, yes, people might say, I don't need the title because of, I've accomplished so much. I don't need to be world champion. But he said, just like in fashion, he said, I want to be WWE. That was cool. He said, I don't have to be, but I want to be. And that was really a good way of explaining himself.
Of the analysts in the internet wrestling community, are you in a minority of people who liked what happened at the Royal Rumble with Triple H, or do you have a lot of support with that?
I'm okay with it. because again, I'm all about the story. The story was to screw Roman Reigns out of the title and to get revenge at the same time. So
you're okay with it, but if you take the pulse of what you've been reading online, what's the reactions like?
I mean, online, some people are not happy with. Some people understand the storyline. Some people are happy that Roman Reigns just didn't win. But some people just, some people want AJ to win. Some people some people are just not realistic. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The majority of people, they like Triple H now because, what he's done with NXT. He gives all the internet people that in the IWC, all the people that they like in his NXT. So he gives everybody that. You know what I mean? So it's like against WWE, so it ain't like that.
I would say, one thing I would say is you mentioned about people being unrealistic with some of their picks. But the way this was set up, anybody could have won last night and then lost it the next night on Raw.
Right. I think they didn't want to do that because of what they announced.
Okay.
Because they wanted... this is something that really makes sense to me. I wanted to say that.
Brooklyn Mahler, are you there? Hello?
This is why the Royal Rumble.
Brooklyn Mahler, I think we have some technical difficulties.
Yes. Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
We have you back.
This is why the Royal Rumble was so important, and why we need the Royal Rumble, and why it needs to be WrestleMania, go to WrestleMania. Because now, they said, how are we going to get someone to choose someone to go to WrestleMania? This is like WrestleMania 8, when Jack Tunney had to pick between the Macho Man Hulk Hogan and
Sid Justice.
And Sid Justice, the face with the... We don't want that. We want the person to earn the right. You get what I mean? So, the Royal Rumble, since no one won the Royal Rumble had the right to go to WrestleMania, now they had to come up with a stupid idea. We have to put some guys in the match so they can earn their way to the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania.
I will say I never liked the idea that whoever wins the Rumble goes to WrestleMania because it really limits who's going to win out of those 30.
Well, it don't. It only matters to people who they don't like. I mean, in 2000, when The Rock was going against the First Show, there was no way in the world anybody else was winning that Royal Rumble but The Rock. Everybody knew The Rock was going to win. And we was in a smart town, New York City. Everybody knew The Rock was going to win. That's
true.
But you know what? Did they care? No, they didn't care. They was excited that The Rock won. Everybody knew he was going to win. They just that people wanted The Rock to win. They built him up so much back in 2000 when he was coming out from Versace shirts every week. Monday Night Raw, he was like chasing that title. The people wanted him to win. And now, the last two winners, which was Batista, nobody wanted him to win.